This conference will now be recorded.
So, SAC as a topic, it has analytics, planning, and predictive. Yeah, we all know what is analytics, right? So we will have some visualizations, filters, calculations for the reporting purpose. The calculation includes restricted, calculated, dimension member formulas, all those things. Yeah. When I'm talking about planning, the planning includes planning layouts, validations, forecasting techniques, predictive techniques, value driver trees, all those planning relevant stuff. Yeah. So when I sent an email to you regarding this SAP Analytics Cloud, I sent an email saying that SAC Analytics, Analytics Designer, Planning. I'm going to start. So what I so yeah, as it is a big area, right? I divided this course into three parts. I will explain how I'm going to manage all these solutions because SAC planning is separate, SAC analytics separate, SAC analytics designer is separate. Each one takes 2 months. So again, it's 6 months will be very long period for the people who is looking for the jobs or changing their uh, career. So let's plan after this demo. Tomorrow we will plan how we are going to handle all these solutions, how we are going to start this. When so sometime I will give it for SAC planning, sometime I will give it for SAC analytics and analytics designer. So we all know what is analytics, right? When you see here SAP analytics as a big picture. Yeah. We have different source systems, on-premise, hybrid, cloud, and we can use SAP Analytics Cloud as a reporting tool for this. Yeah. We can use SAP Analytics Cloud as a reporting tool for this. Yeah. SAC, when I say SAC, it is using SAC we can prepare dashboards, planning scenarios, integrated financial planning or workforce planning. So many planning scenarios you can create. Predictive analytics like classifications, regressions, time series you can create. So SAC comes with standard functionalities. So there are some tools to create the visualizations, very good visualizations available to create the dashboards, to create some reports, pages, and all those stuff. So basically, we have SAC has some analytical application where you can visualize the data. So that's what SAP Analytics part. So I'm not going detailed in the SAP Analytics part. The main objective here is analytics designer. Yeah,
Could you
I just
speak
give
little
1 or
bit
2 minutes.
louder?
Can you increase your volume, please? I think your side also
It's
just
quite
check
clear.
your volume.
Kiran, it's quite clear. I can hear you.
Your
Yeah.
voice is too low.
Kindly check your side also because I just completed another previous session. It was good. Same volume I'm maintaining. From your side also just check that the volume are connect again, please.
We are
Others
fine,
can
Kiran.
hear me. Yep. So
Sure, will do.
SAP Analytics. Yep. Yep. So SAP Analytics, as part of SAP Analytics, you can create dashboards, visualization, storytelling, all these things, right? So today I'm not going to discuss detail about SAP Analytics. I'm going to discuss Analytics Designer. There is a capability, Analytics Designer. We're using this Analytics Designer. you can create analytic applications. So this is the main objective of this session. But I need to give some overview on this SAP analytics and planning. So when you talk about SAC planning side, when we talk about SAC planning side, which we can use for the financial planning or workforce planning, so many other scenarios you can use. Even group reporting, financial planning also it is possible. So here, when we talk about planning, you can create stories to collect the data. I mean, input the data, and on top of that, you can run some calculations. You can log the data. You can create process flows. You can use calendars. You can use input whatever input template you can share with others. You can get the feedback. So many things are there in SSC planning side, and SSC planning side you have some forecasting technique also. You can easily create rolling forecast. You can use value driver trees for driver based planning. You can use you can use forecasting techniques to estimate I mean next few months data. So SSE comes with lot of uh, functionalities options. When you want to create dashboards, they have given so many options, so many formatting options, thresholds, tolerances, colors, styling. When you go to the planning, they have given so many calculations relevant stuff, so many forecasting techniques, right? You can see this forecasting automated insight. So even SSE is using some machine learning capabilities. If you ask a question, it will answer all those stuff. Yes, even you can share your information within SAC. You can share, even you can send emails to outside, like your directly you can email also from SAC side. Sharing options also good. You can publish also. You can even publish your reports. So if you see here, business intelligence, planning, and predictive. These are the three main capabilities of SAC Analytics Cloud. So whenever, the main point analytics designer we are going to talk about, whenever you implement any product to the customer, right? It may be BPC, it may be SAC, it may be group reporting, it may be FI. The user always checks the standard solution, and somewhat they feel uncomfortable saying that this functionality is not available or something is missing in this product like that. First, they check the capabilities and they try to find something which is not available in the product. So SAP want to address that point. So we have lots of standard functionalities when you are developing dashboards or planning scenarios. However, if you need any custom, right, which is not available in the SAC Analytics Cloud, yeah, you can do that using this analytics application. So analytical applications can be created using analytics designer. So whatever custom application you are creating, we call it as analytical application. So analytical applications we can create using analytics designer. So an analytical application typically contains some custom logic, and the custom logic is written in the scripts. Which script? JavaScript. So if you see this application designer, this is analytics application designer, simple dashboards you can create using standard capabilities. Sometimes you have to create some complex dashboards or some complex reports, and the user wants some intuitive, like they want some drop down boxes, radio buttons, tabs, tab strips, flow layouts. So all those things you can develop using this particular application design. So it's, and sometimes what happens if it is a story, right? The story I mean, here story means basically visualizations, filters, and all those things. The reports can be created in within the story. Stories we use to tell the story of that particular data. The stories can be created by power users or users. It's not that difficult. It's like pivot table. You just drag drop the rows and columns based on the model system can show the data. Data loading also not that difficult in SAC. You can, once the connections are established, we can load the data. Even user can load, just refresh button, it will load. Even export option also available. These are all standard things. So this application, so what happens when you create a story? For example, you add a table. When you add a table, what happens? You have to add rows and columns, right? So now when you run the run the report, right? Yeah, when you run the report according to your configuration, it will show the report. When if you want to change the table again, so again you have to go to the edit mode and they can change it. And if you want to create a version, there is a process. You have to go to the tools and you have to click on version management to create a version. In order to create a calculation for the table, you can go to the table. There is an option to create the calculation. But each things, so there are many things in SSE. As I said, like there are many things in SSE. The user might not remember all these things. So they want one guided interface. So for example, if they want to create a version, they want a button. So when they click on that button, system should give a pop-up. In the pop-up, they can create the version. Currently, with the standard functionality, what they have to do, they have to go to the menu from the tools. They have to select the version management. Then they have to give the details. Then it will create. But they want to simplify that. Just a small button click, it should pop up, and they will create. They can't remember. They don't want to remember all these paths. If you see, you might have different folders, right? So we create so many stories for so many applications. So each one will be in separate. So all workforce planning in one place, all product cost planning in one place, all intelligence report, business intelligence reports in one place. So the user has to search and find the particular report, and they have to open, or they have to create some processes from there. They can develop, they can they can get it. So if you use analytical application in one place, you can create one particular landing page. In that landing page, you can just add all the links, whatever you have, and you can make it a guided interface using analytical application. So click this link, then it goes to open another link, or and in that link you will have some charts, some input controls, and some drop down boxes. When they click on that, it will activate. So for example, if I select a particular dimension, then it is going to hit the table, right? Once the table is hit, based on the table changes, I want to activate some other dependent activity. So all these things can be done using this analytics application designer, other than content, other than standard functionalities. If you see,
Kiran,
when, yeah.
Kiran, sorry, I have a question. I heard that in the latest release of SAC, the analytic
Hmm.
app designer and the story designer will be unified. Is that true?
Correct.
Is okay.
Correct. It's true. So we are going to execute all these things based on the unified optimized stories only. So optimized stories earlier. So stories and analytics designer both are two different artifacts. So stories we used to create separately, analytics designer we used to create separately, but in one place now within the stories you can create analytics designer applications and stories both. In the next slide, I'm going to explain that. So now, if when you have to go with the standard functionalities, when you have to go with the applications, see, as a consultant, I always so we have to handle the complex things. The user has to handle the simple things. So now LOB owned solution, right? So for example, if the customer want their people, their LOB people has to create the stories, reports, and they have to maintain, then they can go with the stories. So if their LOB users, they want to create the reports, dashboards, whatever, they can go with stories. But the flexibility level, it's easy to create the stories, but they have to remember, the path and everything. If they want some flexibility in the application, so and they want some complex applications where the story can't deliver those logics, then we go with analytics designer. So analytics designer, when you create the applications with analytics designer, so its flexibility will be there, right? And implementation efforts will be there. And in the analytics designer, they will get end user guidance. So once they click this one, I can activate the depending activity. When they click on the other activity, then I can activate another activity. So the dependency also I can generate. That's what they're calling it as end user guidance. So analytics designer, basically you can use this analytics designer to develop a guided solution. Now, so if you see, implementation effort will be there with the analytics designer. Stories can be developed by anyone. So earlier, what used to happen, right? Whether that may be cloud data sources or on-premise data sources, we can connect to the models, and on top of the models, we used to create stories. Stories are basically the front end, right? So the reports, visualizations are part of this particular stories. Tables are part of this particular stories. And any custom applications, right? Complex custom applications, we used to create analytical applications. So stories and applications both are two different artifacts earlier. But now with it, I mean, last quarter or last year, they introduced stories and analytical application both. We combined within the story, you can create analytical application and stories both. So one artifact, we are going to use one artifact stories. Within the stories, we are going to create applications, analytical applications. So if you see the analytical application designer, so basically, uh,
Sorry,
yeah,
I have one question. Can you go back slide,
yeah,
please?
yeah,
See, this on-premise data sources, it could be like our SAP BPC as well.
yeah, yeah, yes,
Anything possible, yeah.
yeah. So any SAP BPC standard or BPC embedded or BPC optimized,
All three are possible, yeah.
all three are possible. Some are live, some are import.
Oh, okay. Which one we can do as a live?
BPC embedded and optimized.
Okay, okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Standard will be import.
Okay, thank you.
So how to develop these applications? Yeah. So as I said, analytical application contains some custom logic and it's based on the scripts. And story is always a self-service. Self-service, anyone can create. Yeah, there will be a workflow, and you should remember how to add all the properties and all this stuff. So now this is how. So left side, you see left side, whatever you add, all those details like what table you added, what pop-up you added, or whatever containers you added, whatever tab strips you added, all the informations you will see. So this is the design environment. We call it as design environment and run environment. Design environment is basically you are creating the applications. So in the design environment, you are creating the applications. Left side, you can see all the containers, pages, stories. I mean, containers, pages, or whatever logics you are going to write, script objects, and all those stuff. And you can use all the visualizations available for stories. You can use for these applications, custom applications. So I have, for example, 14 charts are available, standard SAC, right? All those 14 charts, I can use it here. There are some input controls available. I can use those input controls here in this, plus some custom logic I can implement. There are some things here in the custom applications or analytical applications like tab strips. not available in the stories. Flow layouts, not available in the stories. Radio buttons, not available in the stories, available in the applications. Drop down boxes, not available in the stories, available for the applications. So some objects, some widgets are available specifically for the applications. However, whatever widgets available for the stories, all the widgets are available for analytical applications. So analytical application, basically what happens because of this left side, you see all these widgets, right? So you can easily, all these are here, just you can drag and drop and it will speed up the development, right? So here only you can see pop-up. Suppose if you have a pop-up, so you can add that pop-up. When you click on that pop-up, it will show the pop-up here, and you can see the properties right side. And here for the application design, we are going to use subset of JavaScript. Subset of JavaScript. Java is very big, right? So whatever calculations we want, we can do it with the JavaScript. And also the main thing here in the design environment, it is autocomplete and syntax check. For example, if I give the widget name, right, and it will give all the methods relevant to that widget. So when I write some, so for example, if I click on control space bar, it will show all the widgets available. So widgets, methods, APIs, whatever available, it can propose, it can show all the existing values. Even you can select the members, you can select the dimensions easily. You have the syntax check and you have autocomplete available. So control spacebar is very useful thing here. If you want to see, the list of dimensions, just give the square bracket, open square bracket. It will give all the dimensions. If I want to see the master data, just give the quotes and give the control space bar. It shows all the members within it. So there are some techniques you can use. It will guide you like to write the program. So for example, most of the consultant, what they feel, if I say like JavaScript, then most of the functional consultant, they think that okay, it's JavaScript, not my cup of tea. So it's not like that. We have to come out of that particular mentality. Whatever functional consultant is doing now, the users are doing, right? If you observe anything, like if you take any SAC analytics, if you see, the users can create all those reports. It's very easy to them. Only when some code. So when I say code, it is low code only. Okay, it's not like extensive code. So now the part of the consultant has to handle these analytical applications with low code. That code is based on the JavaScript. In BPC, we used to write script logic. In BPC embedded, we write planning functions, Fox formulas basically. So if you are able to write the Fox formulas, if you are able to write the script logic, functional consultants only used to write all those things. You can easily write in the JavaScript. Not that difficult. So JavaScript is kind of understandable code only. So you have loops, for loop, while loop, like that, some one or two loops. You can also use the conditions, if conditions and all those things. Same way, any programming language, you define the variables. You can define the variables. You can define very good analytical applications. Even you can define planning applications. The most important thing here is planning applications. If you observe in BPC, in business planning and consolidation, in BPC planning side, when you see what used to happen in the planning side, we used to implement some using EPM admin. We used to create uh, some layouts, rows, columns, and all those things we used to add, and whatever complex calculations they want. So that, I mean, using Excel, we used to create some macros and we used to add those macros. right? So the same thing here, right? Where there we used to write VBA code for the macros, here we are writing JavaScript. We are using JavaScript for that. So if you want to save the, so for example, normal planning application, if you create planning input template, for example, they to click on save data, they have to go to some place, one button on the top menu, publish data will be there. They can click on the publish data and they can save the data. Instead, what the user will ask, I want a button where I will click on the save option, save button that then it should save the data. So these type of things you can perform using analytic applications. So the main point here, analytics designer completes the SAP Analytics Cloud. So what does it mean? You have analytics, you have predictive, you have planning, which can be delivered using SAC. Now, any custom, so for example, it may be planning relevant custom application or any custom logic for planning or analytics custom logic or predictive custom logic. One analytics platform using analytics designer, right? You can develop analytical application to bring together BI, planning and predictive capabilities. Whatever the scenario, you have to use analytics designer for the custom logic. You have agile development, you have some existing content. You can follow that existing content. There are some templates available. You have sample code available, right? Then when you use analytical application, right? The way it when the user looks at that particular application, see, basically first thing is when the user can't identify whether you created a story or analytical application. Why? Both are part of stories only. Now analytical application story is part of stories only. Right, optimized stories we are calling it as. So now if they see see if this kind of dashboards, they don't know that whether you created this using analytical application or stories. They feel the same thing. So let's understand some use cases of analytics designer. So based on my uh, inputs from the world participants, right? If you understand the use cases, then it's easy for you to understand the scenarios. So whenever we start this analytics designer, for each and every session, we will create a use case. We will discuss a use case. We'll check the output. Then we will create that one. First, we will see the demo, what we are going to do. Okay, then only we'll implement that in the system. So there are some use cases, right? So first use case using analytics designer, data explorer. So there is something called explorer. So like in Excel, pivot table is there. So what you do, you just create a pivot table, rows, columns, and filters you can select, right? So what is the use of this pivot table? It's for ad hoc analysis. So now I have I have connected one particular data source, on-premise or cloud data source. So I'm getting some data to the SEC. Immediately the user want to check the data. See, it might take some time. Stories are not developed, applications are not developed. Immediately after the loading the data, you want to check the data. So how the data is looking like, ad hoc analysis you want to do. Then using analytics designer, you can create a one data analyzer. Earlier we used to call it as data analyzer. Now recently they changed it to explorer. So using these data analyzers, explorers, yeah, you can create this kind of, see, right side you have uh, uh, rows, columns, and this filter kind of filters here, measures, and all those things. You can use hierarchies in this. You can connect live data. So basically, on top of the data, you have not yet created any stories or any reports or dashboards. Just whatever data is coming, you just want to analyze, right? Then you can create this application. So the data analyzers are created using analytical application only. Second use case. So typical analytical designer use case 2, guided analytical applications. So looking at this, right? So you can see this when I see these kind of pictures. So these are my headers. So when I click here, okay, there are information it will show. So it's like 4 tabs, 1, 2, 3, 4. First tab will have some reports. Second tab, when I click, okay, some reports I will see. Third tab, when I click, another report. So the tabs also you can add with some images and all those stuff. So all the it's closed loop scenarios. So you can easily see, you can overview, detailed, right, and decisions. Like this you can create different pages, so that once they complete the overview, they can come to the detailed, and from here also they can jump to that particular other page. Now the third case, if you see, one application you want to see in the tab, laptop and mobile, for example. So the we have to create only one analytical application. So when I open that particular application, when the user opens in the mobile, it should adjust according to the mobile. When it opens to the tab, it should adjust according to the tab. When that opens in the desktop, it should adjust according to the screen size. So tab has one screen size, mobile has one screen size, laptop has one screen size. Based on the screen size, system should adjust. So system should read, application should read the screen size. Now, if you observe, when it is displaying in the laptop, you can see there are 1, 2, 3, 4 columns and three rows. 1, 2, 3. But when you see the tab, you can see only 1, 2 rows and columns. Yes, you can see the 4 columns, but the size of the column is small. When it comes to the mobile app, the same thing is only displayed. However, here 2 columns only it is displaying. All these images are adjusted into one line. Even sometimes when you see your mobile application, you will see pages, some dots down. You see 1, 2, 3, 4. First that. So in Amazon, for example, Amazon Prime Video, when you see, right, all if you see first in the first initial screen, it will scroll like, first it will be, first whatever the recent movies they added, all those things will come one by one. Automatically they animated, right? So no need to click it, only after 5 6 seconds it will move to the next movie like that, right? Initial screen. So that kind of animations also you can perform using these particular analytical applications. Prime Video, when you see in mobile, in one way it looks like, when you see in your laptop, one way it looks. You can create that kind of applications using analytics designer. It's a good example for analytics designer. So now if you see fourth one, right, for the planning. For the planning also, most of the time planning users ask you so many custom things. I want to pass this variable automatically, right? System should adjust my rolling layout automatically based on the uh, 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 date, whatever I select. And I want to see, when I click on a button, system should log this particular data. So I want to see table and chart one icon. When I click on the table, system should show table. When I click on chart icon, system should show the chart icon. I want comments. I want comments in a column, and also I want, when I click on the data point, I want to see all the comments relevant to that. And sometimes they might ask you like, I want to enter data using my mobile. So all these things can be done using this analytics designer. You can see the buttons, all the buttons are given in the standard content stories. You can't get it all these things like this. So what can you expect from analytics designer regarding planning? So see, it's all about the user friendliness. I want to tailor my functionalities, right? If you take integrated financial planning, there are so many in the integrated financial planning. You have cost center planning, you have product cost planning, you have sales and profitability planning. So many applications are there. One application, if you, for example, when I change the raw material prices, if I change the raw material prices, the raw material prices will change my product cost. When I change my product cost, automatically my cost of goods sold changed. When I change my cost of goods sold, automatically my net income is changed. So you have some connections. Whenever you change in any one of the particular input template, it has some top or bottom level some impacts. You want to automate those impacts. System should identify those scenarios, and it should automatically update. So that can be done using analytical application designer. You can you can run one data action or multiple data actions using this particular application designer. So also sometimes what happens, you want to call you want to call external sources to your application. So for example, in this case, I have some 3D images I want to add to my particular story or particular report or whatever data. So for example, sometimes what happens, you are going to input some data in planning application or some application. That data, whatever you input in SAC, it should go to S4 HANA, and it should create based on the data. System should generate a purchase order. So now you can see some OData services, APIs available, export APIs. So based on, see, it can pick up your SAC information and it can push to S4 HANA, and it can generate the processes. Basically, the process is run in S4 HANA only, but the relevant parameters you can pass it from the SAC. That option also available. So this is analytics design. As part of analytics designer, we are going to understand how to develop custom applications, and whatever analytics designer, it is applicable for analytics and planning. The same thing can be used for the productive. So now I told you like 3 parts here. So today I just explained analytics design. Right? Tomorrow I will explain my SAC analytics and planning course. I think I will add analytics designer and analytics here, because we need to create some sample dashboards for this. So tomorrow I will explain SSC planning. So SSC planning side, I'm going to uh, explain integrated financial planning. Integrated financial planning. So tomorrow I will explain the course content. What is the course content for all this SSC planning and analytics designer? Course content we will discuss tomorrow. And also timings in the sense, when, so because these are two different courses. SSC plannings, analytics designer, I am planning in the weekends. Okay, 9 to 11 p.m. India time, Saturday and Sunday. Planning, I am planning for the weekdays. Right? So I will weekdays, let's say same time in the India night or India morning, we can plan. So tomorrow we'll discuss the course content for other SSC scenarios, SSC planning and analytics. And also I will explain the course content for analytics designer. So once we complete so tomorrow's content discussion, you can decide uh, which one you want to join. Yeah. So any questions now?
Hi, Karen. I have a question.
Yep.
Um, so, is this the only class you offer? Do you have a more advanced level? What's the roadmap for the SEC designer?
Your voice is not clear. Some disturbance back background. Some disturbance is coming.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, there's a lot of background noise. But basically, just want to know about the roadmap to the designer class. provide intermediate and advanced level courses, or just the design?
So we in this designer will include the analytics also. Um these are the, I mean, sorry, actually, I did not get the question. I'm not getting the question clearly.
Uh,
Some
because
disturbance. It's not continuous. Yeah,
yeah, because I think designer task by itself is not enough. I mean, there's so many material to cover, and so I think there will be more questions than after these classes begin.
so that's why we decided into two, because it will take, if it is one course, it will be 6 months like that. So that's why I decided into divided into two. Analytics designer 2 months it will take. SSC planning it will take 2 months. Right. So yeah. Any other questions from other participants?
Sure. Hey, Kiran, this is Arif. One question over here. So, yeah, so tomorrow, once the same session can be used, no, to dial in to check the your
Correct.
uh,
Same,
basic
same,
planning.
same, same, same link. Correct.
Okay. So now, in terms of the course, so you talked about analytic designer and analytics, and the next one tomorrow you are going to share is what is SAC planning. So, uh,
All the contents we are going to discuss tomorrow,
yeah, we are going
including
to
SSC.
discuss that tomorrow. So the question is this designer and analytics more of like, assuming that the data is available. So either, for example, group reporting, you have one session where group reporting data is available. Similarly, planning could be a separate session where a planning application is created for, let's say, revenue planning or my headcount planning or
Correct.
capex planning. So once those SAC planning is done, and this designer is more catered towards whether it is group reporting or any of those planning apps, how to do the presentation layer. Is that right?
Correct.
I sure.
Exactly.
Thank
Correct.
you. Sure. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sir,
Hello,
this
Kiran.
course
Yeah.
is uh, this course
This
is
is
about planning
the
also.
second
Yeah. Uh, yeah. So this course is planning for analytics designer both.
Like it is
This
for
is
both planning
planning
and
is
designing, sir.
okay. This the analytics designer for planning and analytics both. We are going to
Is only
use this.
yes, Kiran. And first part you have a designer studio, and
Mm,
that will have all kind of designs, or only particular designs are we are going to create. There is many type of design we can create the models, right? One, two. The second part of planning for analytics and planning. Is
mm.
this a planning also contains advanced planning in there or no? Advanced analytics and planning, the second part of it.
So planning tomorrow, planning in the sense we are going to understand how to develop models, dimensions, and also we are going to understand how to write allocations, logics for the calculations, and also we are going to understand how to create input templates, how to validate the data. So planning as a separate course, we are going to understand functionality, basically how to develop
Uh-huh.
the product. Okay.
Uh-huh. So
After
the
so yeah,
Karen, do we
go ahead,
have
go ahead.
do we have server access on lab?
Yeah, yeah. We will get you will get SSC trial user. I will tell you how to create SSC trial user.
so the advanced
sir,
planning is included in the planning or no?
Advanced planning in the sense
Advanced
integrated financial
analytic
planning.
cloud, which will have a GRDC, it will have ICMR, and also
That is in the
no.
group reporting.
Yeah, sorry. No, that's part of the group reporting. Um,
Yeah.
the advanced analytics contains the part of the plan, or it has more capabilities that we will take the second part of it.
So we can add it in the analytics designer itself. So we can create
Okay,
some analytical dashboards. Yeah.
okay. So the first one and two will be consecutive classes. Whoever wants to take it, right?
Correct.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
uh,
Kiran, I have a same question basically, but it's a continuation of the question. So
Yeah,
regarding the planning models, right? So will you cover some like at least one or two use cases explaining, the end-to-end scenario, like
yeah. Not one or two use cases. Entire in the planning, we are going to cover entire integrated financial planning scenario.
I mean live examples, you mean, right?
Yeah, live examples, correct.
Okay,
So,
because
so
the
Suresh,
main the main idea is like planning, like understanding the system, like how to do allocations, or how to
Yeah, yeah.
create tasks, and everything is fine. But end of the day, if we don't have a end-to-end use case, like the a real example, it's going to be really, I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
it's not going
Tomorrow
to be
I'll
really
explain that.
useful. Yeah. Okay.
Correct,
Thank you.
Kiran, one question.
Sir, last
I have
question,
one
sir.
question. Kiran, hello,
correct.
Kiran.
Good.
See,
Yeah,
one
go ahead.
question. This group reporting is a separate topic, is it? It has nothing to do with SSA planning or.
SSC separate as group reporting is a consolidation solution in S4HANA.
So separate topic, and you're taking a separate session for it, is it?
Correct, correct.
Okay. And one more quick question. This analytics designer is newly added into the SAC, or previously it was not there or something, only story or something?
I mean,
Uh,
now when the product is having lot of options, when the product is matured, most of the customers are implementing the product automatically. Custom developments comes into picture. Correct. So
yeah.
now in analytics designer earlier also it was there, but
Uh-huh.
now most of the people are using this analytics designer to develop the custom applications. Now the demand is high.
Okay. So tomorrow, what time is the session? This content
Same
and
session,
all
same,
discussion
same,
finalized. Sir?
same time, same time, same time. Whatever
Same
we,
time and same link, is it?
yeah, same link, same time. Yes, correct.
Okay. Thank
Only
you,
Uh-huh.
sir.
the date.
Kiran,
Oh, Kiran.
the since this is a live data, seamless data coming
Hmm.
from a source system, whatever the source system behind it, and it should have the data sphere by itself should have enough volume to hold, or do they have a separate standalone system? For example, in this case, BI.
Anything is okay. See, SSC can connect to DataSphere, SSC can connect to BW.
Uh-huh.
See,
So
when
if somebody,
when it is, go ahead, go ahead.
uh-huh,
If somebody
then the volume doesn't matter, right? In this case.
modeling doesn't matter because whatever. So we are assuming that data is available, right? On top of that, how to perform those calculations or reports.
So volume doesn't matter in this case as long as SAC system is DataSphere system is available, because DataSphere is a container of a lot of things, studio and the catalog and planning. All the components are built in into SAC, so they don't need a separate system like a BI system or anything like that.
So yes, correct. So earlier, so for example, if you have BPC, business planning and consolidation,
Yeah,
BW was there for the data source, right? BW was
yeah,
the data source, right?
yeah,
So in BW, we used to have FA data, data, PP data, this
yeah,
data, that
yeah.
data, SAP
Correct,
data, non-SAP data, everything we used to
correct,
put it in BW
correct.
system. On top of that BW system, we used to create some staging layer.
Correct.
Staging layer in the
PSA,
sense,
yeah.
yeah, on top of that PSA, we used to create info cubes and all this stuff. On top
Yes.
of that, one staging layer for BPC, we used to
Yes.
create some
Yeah.
applications, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in the data sphere also, you can connect data from different connections. You can create views in the sense, see, in BPC, in BW, you have multi providers, composite providers,
Yep.
all those stuff.
Yes.
So here also you can create in data sphere also you can create union views, intersection
Mm-hmm.
views, joins,
Mm-hmm.
inner
Mm-hmm.
joins, outer
Mm-hmm.
joins, all things,
Yes.
and you can develop your base structure. On top of that, you can create your models, and you can deploy those models, and those models are available for SSE to consume.
Okay. So do not need a separate standalone BI system in this case.
Correct. It's not
Yeah.
optional.
So if somebody has a BI, they can consolidate into data sphere and they can scrap the BW, right?
Correct. So it's cloud-based solution. Yeah.
Yeah, so that
Okay.
SaaS service and S4 HANA together they merge.
Correct. Yeah. So
Okay,
any
thank
other
you.
questions from?
Sir, last
Yeah.
question.
Any other?
Sir, last
Yeah.
question,
Go ahead.
sir.
Yeah.
Is it how
Tell
many
me.
days, sir? Like this analytical designer, is it 30 days course, sir, or is it like 30 days course of analytic
Not
designer and
30
then 30 days
hours.
of planning?
30 hours. 30 hours, but it might take more than that. 30 hours course. Yes.
So this analytic design is 30 hours course, sir.
Correct. Yeah.
So which one you gonna start first, sir? Planning or the analytic design, sir? Coming weeks.
Analytics designer first weekend, analytics designer weekdays, planning. So I'll will decide tomorrow.
Okay, sir. Okay,
Hmm?
sir.
Kiran, one
Understood.
question, Kiran.
Yeah.
So,
Kiran,
how
yeah.
the roles,
Yeah.
the planning roles will be different, and the analytical design roles in different when it comes to the
See,
support
basically,
or.
whenever we talk about the roles, right?
Mm.
Whether that may be S4 HANA, that may be BPC, that may be SSC. Planning modeler. So the person who is modeling the planning scenario, he should have some rights. So that's called planning modeler role. When you are a
Oh,
reporter, okay.
sorry, Kiran. It's not related to the system roles, like the support
Okay.
roles, job roles, I mean to say.
Job roles. Okay. See, basically planning one consultant they need. When they expect a planning consultant, the assumption is he knows analytics also.
Okay.
Okay, it's not that so analytics, if they specifically ask the analytics, it's okay. They don't think about the planning. But if they ask for a planning consultant, that means their expectation is he knows analytics, he knows analytics designer.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Altogether, if you know, then you call as a planning consultant.
Understand. Yeah, thanks.
Kiran, how is will it benefit to the FICO consultant this SSC course? It is lined with that, or
See, for the reporting side, we can use SAC for FI reports or any other S4 HANA reports. So if see the thing is for FI people, I suggest more than SAC. SAC is a now SAC is a common requirement. Everyone should know SAC. But the thing is, if it's not necessary for you to work as a SAC consultant because you already a FICO consultant. So for you, I think better than SAC group reporting because you have finance knowledge and you can easily understand and you can give the solutions in the consolidation. You can easily understand. If you are interested in SEC side, okay, SEC also you can learn. But when you compare with group reporting SSC, I suggest group reporting for you.
okay? Thank you, Kiran.
Right. So we'll stop now. Tomorrow, same time, same meeting.